know this is material science, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. What I want to tell you is that we have made everything so small that we can basically put a robot into your body. Okay, this is no joke, this is no joke. And we can also, have you ever heard of something called the lab on chip? Lab on chip, wow, I see many of you nodding their head, very good. Lab on chip basically, now if you look at it, in Singapore it's still fine. Singapore is small and accessible, right? Wait till you go to places like, for example, Amazon. If someone gets sick in Amazon and they need a dialysis machine, they need some, what they call diagnosis, to carry a patient from Amazon out to the world is very hard, right? Very, very hard. So basically what they do is, they make a lab into a chip, just small as that. They get a bit of your blood, put it in, straight away they can carry the diagnosis. Just imagine, it is as if bringing a doctor to the patient, but of course you need the medicine. But as far as the diagnosis is concerned, it's doable. It's doable. Let's see the next one. Basically, remember for the endoscopy capsule, where you ingest, and then after that, they will actually give you, let you see what is happening in your colon and so on. Now, this one is a technology that is actually 8 to 10 years ago. 8 to 10 years ago. Now I heard that they really can have a robot they're experimenting, whereby this robot can go into your heart and see what is happening in the bloodstream. Next one. This is the lab on chip that I'm talking about. This is highly possible. Right now in the industry, there are really such devices, but they're kind of still big and not too many functions inside. But with the more and more advanced technology, we can make the chip to be smaller and smaller. And what it means is that with the same area of the chip, we can insert more and more functions into the chip. Okay? Next one. Neurons. Basically, some researcher is trying to build neurons on the chip. Okay? I see many of you nodding, interesting, right? And again, given enough time, all these are very possible. They are trying it out. And the researchers are working very closely with the semiconductor industry to, in fact, quickly bring this to the world. Next one. Okay, this is also neuron. I won't go through it. Next one. Periodic table, sorry. Okay, so by the way, I'm done with my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Are there any questions for Dr. Leong?
Hi sir. With regards to the sunset industry, I don't think it's more of whether semiconductor industry will be there or not in the future, but more of within the Singapore context, we talk about job opportunities. What are the future directions of global foundries within the Singapore market? Is there going to be a production shift, or will the focus still be in Singapore? What are the opportunities available to us MSc students when we graduate, maybe next year or 2 or 3 years to come? So,
Very. Playing a joke on me. Not semiconductor this one. Very good question. A very good question. Really, very good question. Your question contains of 2 to 3 parts. right? Your first question is, in Singapore context, will the government abandon semiconductor?
Yes, but is there going to be not abandon Singapore government, as in for global foundries, I mean, your operations, will it continue to go strong within Singapore, or is it going to be a shift towards, especially with the rising up of India, China, and other developing countries that are slowly increasing their infrastructure, the quality of their working force actually improving. So will there be a shift? So what is the outlook for us students in the coming years? I mean, not as far as 10 years, but maybe 2 or 3 years when we have graduated.
Very good. So, his questions, your name?
Lester.
Lester. Lester's question contains of 3 components. Very cheap. First question is that, will semiconductor in Singapore be a nobody's child? Second question is that, does global foundry love material science people? Third question is that, will global foundries abandon Singapore? Right? Let me answer the first question. EDB last year, when Prof. Gan invited a few of the companies, they also include EDB. EDB, in fact, through our discussion, my discussion with EDB and also EDB's presentation, they have made it very clear. The electronics and semiconductor industry in Singapore is very, very important. You look at the contribution towards the GDP. Whenever the manufacturing of the electronics go down, what happens to your growth for the GDP Singapore? Up or down? Down. Down. Right? So EDB is still pumping a lot of money into the electronics sector. And that's why later I will show you, in fact, for global foundries, we are offering many, many scholarships. For the undergrads, which we call SFP, and also for the postgraduate, for you guys to do PhD, we call it the JIP. In fact, we have already offered 3 to 4 scholarships to some of your seniors in the final year. Okay, so that answers your first part of the question. Okay, now I believe EDB very soon they will be coming to give a talk to NTU. But I'm not sure whether they have already arranged with material science department or not. But definitely, they told me that they will be coming to NTU. Because every year, students ask them this question. So they prepare FAQ for it already. Second question, what was the second question again? Oh, does global foundry love material science people? What do you think? If we do not love you guys, we will not sponsor the Material Science Week. Okay? Oh, you guys don't know that we sponsor the Material Science Week. Think you never tell them. Okay? So we definitely love material science people. Definitely. As what I say, for your final year seniors, we have really offered 4 coming to 5 to 6 scholarships to do the postgraduate studies. Okay? In fact, the number of scholarships that we offer to material science people are matching those from the EEE. You know, traditionally, we offer more scholarships to EEE students, traditionally, and for material science people, only probably 1, right? This year is closely matching. So, have I answered the second part of the question? Very good. The third part of the question, will global foundries abandon Singapore? No. No. If you talk about abandoning in the sense that we pull out the operation from Singapore, answer is no. Do you know how much money we spend on building one fab? One fab. 1 million? No, right? See so many of you shaking your head. 100 million? Well, some of you start to nod your head already, right? 100 million is a lot. We spend around 3 to 4 billion. Billion, the word is B, the big B, okay, to build a fab. you know, that amount, right, is roughly equivalent to a you know, United States of military, they always used to have a big ship, right? They call it the what? Fighter jet carrier that patrol the sea in around the world. And this carrier is supposed to, carry many of the fighter jets on top of it. That amount of money is actually more than enough to buy that one carrier. So we won't pull out of Singapore that easily. No way, no way. You look at the trend. If we wanted to pull out of Singapore, we wouldn't be investing so much money to convert our factory. You remember just I mentioned our factory in Tampines into a MEMS fab. Into a MEMS fab. Because there are a lot of opportunities for us to continue this operation. Okay? So 3 parts. Very good. Thanks for the very good question, really.
Do we have any more questions? There will be ample opportunities to ask you questions during the networking sessions as well. But if you would like to come down and ask your question right now, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Do you have any additional comments? Okay.
Basically, just a quick one. As mentioned just now, we are offering lots of scholarship. This one is for PhD. It's PhD to material science people. So if any of you is interested, please talk to either Prof. Gan, Prof. Ibuisi, or even Handi or Singyi. They have my contact number. Okay? This is for the postgraduate studies. The other one is for the undergrads. Basically, people like you guys right now who would like to have a scholarship. We call it the SMP scholarship, where we offer it to the third-year students and also the final-year students. Okay? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the time and the information to talk about the semiconductor industry. Surely the information was very useful to us. Now I would like to invite Chairperson of MSc EduWeek 2011, Mr. Handi Ali Tantiano, to present a token of appreciation to our main sponsor, Global Foundries representative, Dr. Leong Kam Chu. Thank you, Dr. Leong. We shall now break for some networking sessions and refreshments. Once again, I would like to thank Mr. Erwin Watterson and Dr. Leong Kam Chu for sparing some of their precious time to join us today on this occasion. May I invite our guests to adjourn for networking and refreshments. Senior Manager, Process Development, Process Equipment Engineering. REC is the world's leading photovoltaic company with a presence in every aspect of the solar energy value chain. REC is focused on innovating for value in solar energy. Mr. Lim, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Raymond Lin. My current employer is now REC Sales. 10 years ago, like all of you, I was sitting in a lecture hall. I graduated in the year 2000 actually. My basic degree is in electrical engineering from NUS. So 10 years ago I was thinking, or maybe I was saying back in my JC days, I was thinking what I want to do with my life. I guess that's the question that